Okay. Welcome, everybody. On today's episode of Colorado Films, the podcast, I'm joined by Darla Rae. Darla is an award-winning filmmaker and CEO of Filmit Productions. She has won numerous awards at various international film festivals. Darla's first documentary, Dandy Kids, screened before the United States Congress. Darla started acting at the age of 8. Growing up in Los Angeles, it was only natural that her love of the arts would flourish. Darla made the move from stage to film when she was 18. She has written, directed, and produced over 100 stage, film, video, and commercial productions. She's an alumna of the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in Los Angeles. Darla got her start in the industry in John Carpenter's original Halloween. Darla, welcome and thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a long career. What would you want people to know today, where you're at, what you're doing,
Sure. Well, I've always liked the underdog films. So I always do films that will motivate, inspire, uplift, encourage people. And, I never set out to be the filmmaker with a cause. But when I made my first narrative feature, The Goal, about wheelchair rugby players, it just, one thing led to another, like, oh, can you do this project for us? Can you do this project? And I actually enjoy those. That's really kind of what I like to do, is raise awareness through the arts. And that's what film is perfect for.
Yeah. And what'd you discover, what'd you find out about when you were making The Goal about filmmaking that you would give to somebody, just starting film, like just kind of like, okay, I've got an idea. Let's see how this works.
Well, let me tell you, when I did The Goal, I knew nothing except on the other side as an actor or working as an extra or something behind the scenes kind of thing. And, I just didn't know what I didn't know. And there were a couple of us here said, what do we need? Okay, we need a couple of cameras. Okay, great, done. I'll buy the cameras. Let's buy the cameras. We have a script. We're going to make this film. And then we had to lock in locations. And, I guess the rule of thumb that I always tell people, if you don't ask, it's always no. So even walking up to Craig Hospital and them saying, they're going, you're going to ask them? I go, why not? That's what they do, spinal cord injuries. Yeah. And, they read the script and they were delightful to work with. And I mean, they rolled out the carte blanche for us. And I have found that over the years, that always rings true. If you just go and ask for the right reasons, you let them read the script if they want. Some people get kind of protective about that. But, and I just use that as a rule of thumb, whatever project we're doing, just ask. We scouted a location the other day and the guy goes, are you on Instagram? Yeah. Okay, let me look you up. Okay, yeah, you can shoot here. It was that simple.
Yeah, nice. And so is this, I know you have the Courageous Warriors coming soon.
The Courageous Warriors actually is out. The Courageous Warriors, Well, the Courageous Warriors project basically became more of the philanthropy side of Filmit Productions, because I do a lot of those kinds of stories, and we noticed that things were lining up, and it actually became something after we did the documentary Courageous Warriors, Beauty from the Ashes, which is about breast cancer survivors and their caregivers. And we just thought, well, that's the kind of films we're doing a lot of. Let's have that side of the business so that, it's easier to get those funded and identify those separate from the ones we do for Filmit per se. So we turned it into the courageouswarriorsproject.com, because all those stories that we do, those people are really true courageous warriors.
Oh yeah. No.
Whatever they're battling each day makes your life a cakewalk,
Oh, I know. Yes. What challenges come with telling the story like that comes from, because you do these, that you have to tell a story that comes from trauma. How do you, honor that trauma and hope it use it to empower?
Yeah, for Courageous Warriors, my mom passed away from breast cancer. So that sort of infused that interest. And then I did a short film that was about a young woman who had breast cancer. It was a narrative that a friend wrote. We did that, and as a result of that, we met all these amazing women who had spent their life, like 30 plus years, measuring women for, mastectomy bras kind of thing. And so honestly, it grew out of that because I met so many incredible women from these fitters. They said, no, we're not the heroes. These women are the heroes. We want to introduce you to these people. So that film, The Courageous Warriors, took a different turn. I interviewed over 100 women and men.
Okay.
We also address men get breast cancer. And so it was probably the most heavy emotionally for us as filmmakers. There are a few times that we had to take some breaks because it was really emotional. And so, the film did terrific at festivals. We got a lot of awards, which was great, but it raised awareness, and people now can see it anywhere for free. We get emails from people all over the world telling us how it encouraged them, it helped them to understand their loved one's journey better. So, those are the kinds of things. That's the best part of filmmaking to me, is that you made an impact, even if it's only one person.
Yeah. How has film and productions, you kind of have this core of making these very impactful human stories. How has it evolved through the years? Because you also have other things that you're doing. You've done, full length, everything basically. So how has it evolved from where it started and where you are today?
Well, I get a lot more support financially now. But early on, I figured out I did product placement before a lot of people here were doing product placement. I just thought it really happened with the goal, because some of the disabled athletes, wheelchair guys, said, hey, I use this company for my exercise equipment. I'm like, let's go talk to them. So that was just a little more. So we only had one or two things on that film, right? I actually put the funds up for that film. And it was a long story, but I was getting $50,000 I didn't know I was getting. So I bought 2 cameras and lights, and all the people pitched in and worked for nothing, basically, to get the story done. But now, it's much easier to get product placement companies. And I noticed as I went on, when I did Spirit of Love, the Mike Glenn story next, a basketball film with deaf and hard of hearing kids and an NBA legend, I realized, oh, these kids all have hearing aids. Let's see. And so I found the marketing person, sent them an email. They said, can we read the script? Yes. They came in at a certain amount. And then like 2 days later, I get a call, and it's their sister company wants in on the action. And I'm like, okay. So that happens now, but it's not always that way. I can't say that all my films are done the same way behind the scenes financially, because sometimes they're just come out of left field. You just never know where it's going to come from.
Okay.
So you just have to be willing to pivot at all times.
Okay. And what would you define as a pivot that a hard pivot you had to do for one of your films?
Let me see about that. Well, for us, we were shooting, and we'd walked the location numerous times, and for some reason, I don't know if it didn't get done. Somebody didn't check the power sources and all that kind of stuff. So the very first day of shooting, we had lights blowing, and it just was crazy. And so we had to pivot very quickly, find a generator, get a Jenny running outside, not too close to the old gymnasium, so that we don't want to gas these kids out, kind of thing. So you just have to, it's like, okay, while your guys are going to go get the Jenny, we're going to go do this small scene that's not going to blow a fuse somewhere. So
Okay.
you just have to, sometimes you're not in the order that you think you're going to be when you're on set. So you just
Okay.
wing it.
All right. And what brought you out from California to Colorado?
Well, I came by way of Houston
Okay.
because I was down in Houston. I used to work in aerospace manufacturing. I
Okay.
worked for McDonnell Douglas and NASA, and I fortunately got to work on space station.
Oh,
And
nice.
then my daughter's going off to college, so I moved up here to help a friend out. And then I've been here ever since. So it's a nice place, and I can, go to LA when I need to and shoot films here. I shoot a lot of films here that are actually supposed to be like a Georgia story or
Okay.
Texas story. So Colorado does well to step in for other states if you're shooting the right kind of films.
Okay. And what do you think about the film industry here in Colorado? What do you see its positives, like being able to mimic other states for certain types of films? And what do you see that it could improve on, or that there's areas?
Well, the political football is always the film incentives, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, and that's been going on, from day one since I shot my first film here in 2005,
Okay.
The Goal. And, everybody's been working at it for a long time, and it just is like chessboard. So sometimes you think it's going this way and then it's going to go this way. It would be nice if we could mimic some of our neighboring states.
Yeah.
So that one of my big things I like to try to promote and help people is that, we allow young people to go to the colleges and rack up student loans, but when they come out, they don't have the ability to work here. They
Yeah.
have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because, we shoot stuff here and there's commercial work here, but we're all doing the same thing. We're all hoping that we're going to get funding, bigger funding.
Yeah.
And I have a couple projects that I will probably end up going outside of Colorado for. One of them is a Texas story, and since it did actually happen in Texas when I was there, and I was part of the story that unfolded, I probably will shoot that one in Texas.
Okay.
Just because it's a Christmas film, and I don't want a snow Christmas film. I want it different.
Yeah.
Different feel to it. So, I think there's always potential here for us to get more funding. That would be fantastic, because that would just light the world on fire here, and all the creatives that are here. We have some great filmmakers here, and we have a lot of great young people that, are being mentored by some of us, and they going to the different film schools.
Yeah.
I just feel really bad that, you rack up school loans and then you don't get to work here. You got to try to find work elsewhere.
Yeah. I racked up a lot of school loans to get a master's degree in international law and international relations. No, I mean, once I got it, I'm like, oh, this is all a lie. No one listens to any of this. All this for nothing.
Yes.
So, yeah,
I understand
that opinion. But so I see, what could you tell us about B section?
Oh, section B.
Oh, section B.
Yeah, section B. Actually, section B is based on my experience going to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts at the age of 35. So I went at 35. So they put everybody in a group section, and we were section B. And so it's really about people that are over the hill, meaning over 30.
Okay.
I think I was 35, and the oldest in my group was like 65.
Okay.
So we were like the old people there, because we were there with 18 and 20-year-olds.
Yeah, yeah.
So so it's really about my experience there.
Okay.
And in our group. And we were such a really strong group. I mean, we've stayed connected somewhat over the years.
Okay.
So that one's a bigger budget film. We had Billy Fraker was going to shoot it for us, and then he passed away. His cancer came back. So it's been on the back burner for a few years, but it's still one that I'm really passionate about. I'd like to see it get made.
Nice. And you said, so with another one that you're the same pretty passionate, I believe you just won an award with Spirit of Love.
Oh, yeah, with Mike Glenn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spirit of Love. It's been out for a little while. We shot that 2013, I think, something like that.
Okay.
August 2012, or yeah, seems around that age, that time period. Yeah, that because I had made the goal. Some of a couple guys that work with Mike's camp with the deaf and hard of hearing kids. Worked with some of the wheelchair rugby guys. So they came knocking on my office door one day and said, "Hey, we want you to look at all this stuff." I didn't even know who Mike Glenn was, never heard of him, didn't particularly like basketball at the time, was not really interested. And I said, "Okay, I'll look at the information." And then I started looking at it, and I have a nephew who has hearing loss. And so I was like, okay, let me go look. Let me go meet this guy. He's such a humble man. He's an amazing man. And went to his camps and was pretty impressed by what he does and how those kids just love him. I mean, they just think he hung the moon, and I think he hung the moon as well. So, the hardest part of that was getting him to talk about himself. So I had to go all around him to different people, and I wrote the screenplay.
Okay.
So it was doing a lot of interviews and figuring out what is the story. And it really is about the camps and the kids. That's what he lives for, truly.
Yeah, I mean, I think you posted, or I saw it somewhere. I thought he just won an award for.
Oh no, Mike, his jersey was retired at SIU.
Okay, that's what it was.
He went to Southern Illinois University, which is, I'm surprised it wasn't already retired, quite honestly. But he's just, I just posted that out of respect because he's such an amazing human being, and because I had the honor to work with him and tell his life story. So I wanted more people to know about him, because a lot of people just don't know who he is.
No, yeah, I did.
He wasn't going to play. Let me just say this too. I tried to find an actor. I couldn't find an African-American actor that could do basketball and sign language.
Oh, okay.
And so I finally I could find one or the other. So I called up Mike and I said, "Here's the deal. What do you think about playing yourself?" He said, "Well, I know the subject pretty well." And, he's a sports commentator. So he's on camera and he's really, really good with kids. And I thought, well, let's just try it. He was great. He was great on camera. And it was really, matter of fact, he won an award at one of the festivals we were in for best actor. So, there you go.
Good for him.
Yeah.
So
that film came out. Well, it got released first with a company called IMFlix, and then PureFlix bought them out. And, so it's been out there. It's still out there streaming on Prime and a couple of other places now.
Okay. Yeah. I'll try to post all the places for people to watch it. So you've done so much. Is there any genre or story type that you haven't tackled yet that you'd want to?
I have so many different ones that fall in all these different genres. I don't know that I have a World War II love story. I would love to be able to get that one off the ground. That you can find, it's called The French American. There's a teaser out there somewhere on the internet. We shot some stuff. We are fortunate enough to shoot with the World War II vet before he passed away, and got him giving his speech on the USS Texas, because he was where he was at on the beach in a communication vehicle when the USS Texas was sitting offshore. It was just ironic. And then he got presented with the French Legion of Honor medal. And when that happened, he didn't get to give his speech. And so I had a friend down in Houston who was a reporter, said, "Can you help this guy?" And apparently some people took his money to make his film and filed bankruptcy. We never got to do it, but I'm glad that we made a trailer for him and he got to see it before he passed away. It was like one of the last things he saw. So I would like to see that one happen.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a big pie in the sky.
Yeah. I'm reading it, working with the French Resistance. My grandfather got shot down over Belgium, and he worked with the French Resistance and got captured by the Nazis. So they wrote a
Wow.
book. Yeah, they wrote a book, or the guy that was with him, he was a lieutenant, and there was a private, up to the point where they got captured by the Nazis. They're together trying to get back to the front lines to get back in the fight because they're behind the German lines. And up to the point they got captured, it was the same story. But then my grandpa went to the officers camp, and the private went to the privates, the
Yeah.
enlisted men camp. And so I heard he told me that story once in his life, and I can see why.
Well, I will say this. John his father was, let's see, I want to make sure I do this right. His father was American, his mother was French.
Okay.
He was born in San Antonio, but mama got homesick. They went over there. So he grew up French. He thought of himself as French.
Okay.
And so when the Germans invaded France, he was forced to repatriate back to the US because he wasn't a citizen.
Oh.
And so his whole MO was that he joined the forces, he learned English all the time trying to get back to his girlfriend.
Oh.
And she was part of the French Resistance.
Okay. Nice.
So it's a love story set to the backdrop of World War II, but man, does it have a lot of twists and turns.
Yeah, no. That's amazing. I really hope it gets off the ground too.
It would be nice.
What kind of legacy do you hope that Film and Productions will leave behind, or one of your movies, or is there each movie's a different one you want to leave behind, or is it?
People ask me things about like which is your favorite, and it's like they all have the same common thread, that they tug on the heart, they inspire people, uplift, motivate, and encourage people to hopefully help other people. We could use a lot of that right now in the world, and some kindness, right? So I think really, I feel like that's what I would want to be the legacy, is that we made products that change people's hearts.
Okay, nice. And what keeps you going? Is it that quest to make products that change people's hearts? Is that what gets you up every day, or do you like the technical, like, I'm going to make this story specifically say this because?
No, I don't not necessarily does it happen that way, but things happen organically. It kind of dictates which direction you're going. But if somebody came to me and said, I did a horror film once. I directed this horror film for this guy, and Lionsgate wanted it. They didn't agree. It was, not my intellectual property. But the reason I took it is that even though it was a horror film, it's still, at the end of the day, at the very end of the film, there was a redemption quality to the story.
Okay.
Like no matter how far in hell you go, there is the opportunity to get pulled back out, and that, so it just depends on, I have some that are my own stories that I'd like to see them done. I have a Christmas film. Like I said, want to shoot it in Texas, chili for Christmas, and the rest of the year too, because people like to help people during Christmas and Thanksgiving, but maybe not the rest of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
So it really is, I hope it would be a catalyst to sort of a movement, so that people in need. So I talk to people all the time. They don't even know where to go get assistance, for things, especially people, senior citizens.
Mm-hmm.
There's always these groups, specialty groups, that they don't know where to get help from. So, if I can make a film and showcase some of those scenarios, and then at the end you tie it to established organizations in certain states and cities that already do that, then it's just another way to help get the message out.
Yeah. Yeah. There's, do you know about the Grow House or the Free Kitchen in Denver?
Yes.
Yeah. So those are one of the things that I really, I really like, that food justice and things like that. And I think they do a good job. as well.
I just went this past week to Cafe 180
Yeah.
on Broadway.
Hmm.
I loved it.
Yeah.
One of the happiest places on the planet to eat.
Yeah.
And the people, they're happy to be there working.
Yeah.
And just delightful. And I thought, this is what it's about.
Yeah. No, it's food justice is kind of one of the things I'm very interested in and involved in. So, helping people and going the next day and make the world a little bit better is, that I was excited when you sent me the emoji. I was like, cool, this looks like a great person to talk to. I think we'll have a lot in common. But that's just me. Sorry.
No, not at all. I think it's awesome because I think more people should experience it. Just I have a nephew who is on the spectrum. He's brilliant. He was in Spirit of Love.
Okay.
And what I did with those kids is instead of, when you're working with deaf kids, you have to sign language, you have sign names. And I thought, oh my God, I can't keep two different names straight. So I went back in the script and I made all the characters their name. So I only had to learn one sign, but because of my nephew, I think, we're probably more sensitive to it than a lot of people, but it was such a pleasure working with all those kids because we had 3 kids out of the whole cast that were not deaf or hard of hearing. They were just able-bodied hearing. And I watched these kids all figure out how to get together and be kids together and communicate together. And I'm thinking, if those teenagers can do this, why can't adults do this in the world?
Yeah.
So it was an eye-opening experience for sure. So, we're on the same page, my friend.
Yeah. So tell us about, you have a web series.
Oh, yeah. Let me just tell you. So a couple years ago, 2 summers back, thought we were moving, thought we were going to sell the house, go back to Houston, and it didn't sell.
Okay.
I was really kind of, I don't know, depressed, depleted, whatever. Yeah. And so I just thought, okay, I'm going to the pool every day in my community. And now I've lived here for 27 years, almost 28 in July.
Wow.
And, we've known of each other, some of these people. We see each other. Nobody sees each other in the winter. Nobody.
Okay.
It's just crazy. We do now, but it's because of this web series. So
okay,
it sort of happened organically. This group of women we were always in the pool at the same time, and then people started saying, "Oh, they're the pool ladies," and it was kind of a joke. And then, so that was 2 summers ago. Last summer, the first day the pool was open, we get in the pool and we're getting bit by these winged ants.
Oh,
I mean, badly.
Yeah.
Like, we were everywhere. Oh. So I go home and I research. I'm like, winged ants that like to get in the pool and bite people. And it said they're Asian needle ants.
Okay.
So I said, the attack of the Asian needle ants. I said that to one of the women, and she goes, "Oh, that sounds like a name of a movie." She goes, "We should make one." And I go, "Well, do you want to? We could." And I said, "Or we'll make a really short microfilm and maybe, see where it goes, what happens." So basically, I just took the concept of what happened first, second, and third. So we'd have a beginning, a middle, and end.
Uh-huh.
And then I let them do whatever they were going to do.
All right.
It's pretty wild and crazy. And it was so much fun. And I thought, oh, well, we'll just throw this. I mean, my composer scored it for us, and nobody got paid. It was just a fun thing to do. But what happened is it became community for this group of women that had been somewhat isolated even still since COVID.
Okay.
A lot of people at a certain age, they just went into their houses and stayed.
Yeah.
And, and so getting out of the pool, and then I'm like, what are we going to do in the winter? So once we got the first one edited, I threw it into a festival in New York, and it won Best Web Series.
Good job.
So it's going to be in LA now. March 5th, it's showing at the Grauman's Chinese Theater at the Golden State Film Festival.
Okay.
And all of the ladies are going. They're going to go walk the red carpet. They're going to have the experience of their life. I'm the youngest in the group, 67. We go to 82.
Nice.
And it's caused other people to reach out to us, wanting to know how can we do what you're doing? Because the other part of that is we're doing things to help in the community, like help people. And it's kind of growing that way. It wasn't planned. It was organically just evolved.
Okay.
And so we have shot 1, 2, 3, probably 7 or 8 episodes. And we've been just releasing them short little in some vignettes, even shorter, on reels through Facebook and Instagram. And people are loving it. And they're like, oh my God, we want to be pool ladies. Come on, get your own pool ladies. Let's
Yeah.
Make it grow kind of thing. And I think whether it's male or female, when people reach a certain age, people have a tendency to think, okay, they're over there in the corner and they don't have anything to say. It's not important. I'm telling you, these women are very, they're extraordinary. The things that they've accomplished in their lives.
Oh yeah. The wisdom of the grandma.
I mean, it's been amazing. Some of the stuff that I've learned, just really? Wow. I didn't know that happens when you file an insurance claim. I mean, things like that.
Yeah,
we have one lady, she worked for 30 years doing catastrophes like Hurricane Katrina. And
really? Wow.
it's if you just listen, you'd be surprised what you can learn.
Yeah, no. And has it involved, or have anyone expanded the pool ladies? Has there been pool ladies Houston?
Well, here's what happened.
Okay.
A girl I went to junior high and high school with, I think she was in my junior high too. But she sent me a messenger through Facebook, said, oh my gosh, I love this one thing you guys did. Can I steal the idea? And I said, I don't care. Sure. Why not? We dress like prison inmates because we got locked out of the pool and we were very upset. We got locked out of the pool because there was a water issue and we were like, well, then just pour chlorine in it. Let us get in the pool, Yeah. And so we did this little thing with, we had orange, scrubs on kind of thing, whatever they call those, I guess. And so she said, I have a group of ladies, they're younger than me. Her husband had passed away, and she said, I didn't do anything for 2 years. She said, I finally got a little part-time job, working, I think, at Boot Barn in Nashville. And so she said, I finally took myself on a date by myself, and I met these younger women. I told them, okay, you guys shouldn't be driving, so maybe I should be the designated driver. So now that she has a group, but she likes what we were doing. So she said, can I steal some of those ideas and have the girls do it? I told, yes, absolutely. Nice. Because I think that's the coolest thing, And so there's been a few others, they come in through Messenger, hey, we can maybe get together, or you guys, if you're going to be in California, or you're going to be so we're kind of opening ourselves up to stuff like that,
Yeah, I think.
And we went to the mall. We went over to South Glen Mall, and we saw that they had these. I guess it was Shriners that was doing something with Christmas trees, right?
Yeah.
But they weren't doing very good at marketing it. So we went back over the next day dressed as elves, because we did a spoof on elves off on the shelf, but we did elves off the shelf.
Okay.
And naughty elves, they were behaving badly. But we saw what they were doing and we liked it. So we went over in our costumes and said, can we go pass out your information? Yeah. And so they got a lot of people coming because we went in Whole Foods. We asked the manager, we're going to hand these out. Is that okay? Who's going to say no to an elf? I mean, they just going to say no.
You want to be on the naughty list?
Yeah. So, so we want to do stuff like that, just making a difference any small way we can.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea to get, people out and I think kind of shows the power of film, and then like kind of how you're doing it is not, I don't know, completely new, but seems something very different that you can now everybody can be a cool lady filmmaker and you know and help the
And I'm
community.
shooting. I'll be honest. We shot the first one with our cameras, but all the others have been shot on my phone.
Yeah, that's
I have a droid, and my friend that she's younger, but she helps us do some of the editing stuff because there's a lot of pieces, and so she's sort of a ancillary honorary because she's not. I told him you can't be in the pool age if you're not over 60, but
okay.
we don't care.
Yeah.
So we've shot everything on the 2 phones, and that's it.
Ah,
And yeah, I have a couple little lights, and we put up a light and we do this or whatever. But
yeah.
here's the beauty of it. The girls, I call them the girls, they're like, can we go do this? I go, I don't know. Do you want to? Whatever it is. I'm like, well, let's look at what that might look at like, you
Yeah.
know. And so one of the gals said, oh, I bought us cherub outfits. We're going to be Cupids. I go, okay. So I had to figure it out. And then they all dress up and they kind of take on their own scene of what they're going to do, whatever it is. Like
Okay.
whether it's I want to be putting Valentine's in an envelope and licking them or something, or I want my dog to be in it because my dog is important, or I'm making a big bougie cocktail in a glass this big or whatever. So then my job is to narrate it and figure out how to sew the story together.
Okay.
Never done anything like this. It's very out in left field.
Yeah. Like improv
It's
movie.
very improv because it's it's like it's the naughty word stuff pool ladies say. It's kind of like 12-year-old boys in a locker room sometimes. I'm just saying it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But we laughed so hard. We broke out one night into karaoke for like 5 hours
Oh wow.
in costumes. We did something on sort of a tribute to Sweater Weather for Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
It was crazy. I just told them the premise of it, and everybody showed up dressed to their character, and we
Nice.
just made something happen.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'll have to watch more of them as you put them out. There.
And the most important thing is that it's really giving people opportunities that were not as social
Yeah.
for whatever reason. If you talk to anybody long enough, you'll find out somebody has some kind of painful experience going on or has in the recent past or whatever.
Yeah.
But if this gives them joy and a purpose, and now they're like, okay, what can we do to help some people?
Yeah.
Do we show up in a costume and do something? Do we go over and help? There's a ministry here that does like, they call it fill the truck, the blue truck.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You buy groceries and they stand outside of Kroger, King Soopers here, and put them in the blue truck.
Yeah.
So I told the guy, hey, we can come out there in some kind of one of our costumes or something and encourage people to buy more. We want to help that way.
Yeah. And it's helping, the ladies as well, because loneliness, especially as you get on in years, is,
Yep.
No one wants to sit there and be lonely. And so it gives them something.
And most of the women, with the exception of one, are single.
Okay.
So even though the one that, is married, happily married, her sister's there's 3 girls, 2 of them sisters, blood, and one, they all grew up on the same street. So we call them the Detroit sisters. On account of they grew up on Detroit Street. That's how silly it is. But we're enjoying it. And people, even our community, our HOA, we had a screening night. We showed them the one that's in competition.
Okay.
And so people are like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. So now that the neighborhood community are all on social media, following us and like, oh my gosh, we love what you're doing. Keep doing more. And we hope that, why it's very simple on one level for bringing joy to people and community and camaraderie, it can be it can spread out easily into other communities.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I really like it.
It was no planning involved. Let me just be honest. To me, that was a God thing. And it was like, really? That's what I'm supposed to be doing? Okay, let's go do it.
Why not? Do you have anything else? I mean, that seems like a big project in of itself, but do you have anything else that you're doing that you're looking forward to letting people know about?
You know, really, it really is the pool ladies. And for right now, but also, you know, I'm working on funding for Chili for Christmas because that one's really important to me. It's
Okay.
a true life Christmas miracle story that I witnessed happen. So I wrote the screenplay a couple summers ago and ready to shoot that. So just getting the funding and connecting to make that happen. So those are really my focus. And then whenever I get a chance to be grandma on the East Coast, I can be grandma. So.
Yeah, how many grandkids do you have?
I have 3. I have 2 girls and a boy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Little ones.
Yeah. They're from, how old are they?
10, 7, and 4.
Okay, nice. And nice little, they're getting there, but yeah, I've got a 5-year-old. I don't know. Hopefully you can't hear her. I kind of can. But she's stomping around upstairs. So.
Oh, no, I don't hear a thing.
Nice. And where on the East Coast?
New Hampshire, outside of Boston. Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice.
They've been getting a lot of snow. We haven't.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good. It's a desert. We need water.
That's true.
But okay. I thank you for being on. We'll watch the Pool Ladies. I'll put that up and let us know about the more awards that you get when you win in New York. What's the festival?
Well, we won in New York. We're going to be in LA.
Oh, LA, yeah.
March 5th, yeah.
March 5th, okay.
Yeah.
And what's the festival?
It's the Golden State Film Festival.
State Film Festival.
You know, I've had 2 wins there before, but both of them were COVID. So I've never been there physically for this festival, but the guys that run it are amazing. It's an amazing festival because they really do give people opportunities that might not otherwise get it, you know. And then it's nice to have a blend of people like myself that have been doing it longer with newcomers, and you get to kind of spread some knowledge too at the same time.
Yeah. Bring everybody up in the industry.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll put that up too. Watch it if you can make it out to the Golden Gate Film Festival, and we'll put up as much as we can of your films for people to watch.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Corey.
Thank you. And I'm glad we got everything worked out. And I look forward to talking to you more about the films you're making.
Thank you. It will be great to talk with you again. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right.